Arsenal have identified 5 potential candidates to replace Unai Emery, if the Spaniard is sacked. The Gunners' boss is under increasing pressure, and his case was not helped by their 2-2 draw with Southampton on Saturday. Arsenal needed an equaliser from Alexandre Lacazette in the 6th minute of stoppage time at the Emirates to prevent defeat. But the North London club are still 6 games without a win across all competitions and sit 8 points adrift of the Champions League spots after 13 matches. Arsenal fans are increasingly keen for Emery to be sacked, with loud chants of "We want Emery out" greeting the final whistle against Southampton before a chorus of boos. And the Independent claim that while the club's board remain in support of Emery, behind the scenes they are already considering potential replacements if, as expected, it comes to a point where the former Sevilla and Paris Saint-Germain coach's departure is inevitable. The board have yet to formally discuss a shortlist of targets to replace Emery, but candidates have already been named. Assistant first-team coach Freddie Ljungberg could be offered his first-ever senior role as a caretaker boss. The 42-year-old, who spent 9 years as a player at the Emirates, previously acted as Arsenal's under-23s manager before his first-team promotion back in June. And the Swede would be able to step into Emery's shoes immediately, with the Independent claiming he could be given the rest of the season were he to impress. Other candidates include Manchester United assistant boss Mikel Arteta, who was heavily linked with the Arsenal job before Emery was appointed. Like Ljungberg, Arteta has never held a senior role in management, though he has worked under Pep Guardiola at City for 3.5 years. The Spaniard, a former Arsenal captain, has even been mentioned as a potential successor to Guardiola in Manchester. And a third ex-player, Patrick Vieira, could also be in the frame. The Frenchman is currently at Nice, after 2 years in charge of New York City, although holds a relatively poor record at the League One side, with as many losses as defeats in his 56-match reign. The appointment of a club legend like Vieira, just as with Ljungberg or Arteta, would undoubtedly go down well among the club's supporters. However, more established coaches whom the Londoners are keeping tabs on are free agent Max Allegri and RB Leipzig boss Julian Nagelsmann. Allegri has been without a job since leaving Juventus in the summer, having won 5 straight titles, 4 Coppa Italias and twice reached the Champions League final in his 5 years in Turin. Nagelsmann meanwhile is one of the most highly regarded young tacticians in Europe and swapped Hoffenheim for Leipzig earlier this year, where he has continued to enhance his reputation. Mauricio Pochettino has also been linked after being sacked by Tottenham last week, though the Argentine is unlikely to be a serious candidate after a 5.5-year spell with Spurs. Meanwhile, speaking out on his future at the weekend, Emery said, the board, are supporting me every day and I also have my responsibility. I know I can do better and I can take more performances with the players and I am going to try and do this. Now my job is to analyze, to try and improve the confidence of the players, but it's difficult. After analyzing that match we will play again on Thursday at home and prepare in the best way possible, and I know the first is to convince our supporters. Let's block ads. Why?